man. All right.
All right. Typically, I don't do this, but I'm gonna do it again because we got interruptions.
Oh my god. That was unintentional. It was so unintentional. That was hilarious.
Perfect. Take 10. Man, we got every
I'm sorry.
chance.
That was it. That's it. No more.
The best interview. I knew it.
Oh man, hilarious. Oh man.
Okay, Gary. It is recording right now.
Okay.
No, first and foremost, man, welcome to Who Am I? Thank you. I reached out to you. You said yes. Like I said, there's a lot of people I'm reaching out. Nobody said no so far.
That's
literally,
good.
this is just a conversation, honestly, just to find out more about yourself and as well as me find out more about you. So,
Okay.
a few questions. We're going to get right into it. Have fun. So, question number 1. Who are you?
Man, I am a father, a brother, the oldest son, the oldest grandson, educator, black man.
Okay. I like that. Black man. Did you accomplish any of your childhood goals? If so, what was it?
Man, that's a good one. I would say yes and no at the same time because my grandma she likes having this. She likes telling the story to everyone that when I was a kid I used to want to be a doctor, and for a while that was true through middle school and everything. But then once I got to high school and learned the difficulties of becoming a doctor, I kind of like switched it up, and I was more into like art, and I wanted to be an artist. And but currently I'm a teacher, and literally I'm going through the same amount of education had I just became a doctor for less money.
I was going to ask you that too, because pretty much going through medical school and being a teacher, is it like it accounts to the same amount of years or close to it?
Very close. Let me see. You have like, doctors have like a residency, right? And in residency is like you're not like a full-fledged doctor yet, but you're still performing the tasks of a doctor. And that's kind of like what I'm going through right now. Like I get paid as a teacher, but I do not have my credentials yet. So I'm going through all these different classes and courses and dealing with my mentor and all this other stuff, very similar to like being a resident doctor.
Gotcha. And the one thing you said, you get paid much less. Pay teachers more, man. You need to stop playing, bro. Okay. Next question. Who or what was your inspiration growing up?
I would say like the people just around me, my parents, my grandparents, my grandma specifically. Those people were the people like I inspired to either be or become. Like they're always pushed us to be better than them. So that was like one of those things that my dad instilled in me, like to be better than what he was. And yeah, like my grandma, like she's a very vocal, strong black woman, similar to my mom. So like I guess like I look towards those things in the people around me, and then the people around me inspire me to be better.
If you could be famous for something, what would you be famous for doing?
I want to be famous for TED Talks.
Okay.
A lot of educators in my field of work, when they're out of the field of education, they kind of pursue other things that are within education, but more or less like an influence to education. So either like writing books, or they're giving motivational speeches, or they're providing some sort of resource. And that's kind of like where the direction I see myself heading in like the next 10 years after like, I felt that I've gotten enough of being a school teacher where I can help other school teachers. Like right now, my main focus is Like, I don't want first year teachers to go through the stuff that I went through as a first year teacher because it was terrible. And even though I had a lot of support from my colleagues, my principal, you feel like you're on an island, and you gotta sort of like you gotta remind teachers that you're not on an island, and you always have support somewhere, whether it's within your grade level or someone on Instagram that's going through the same thing. So I want to provide those type of resources. So if I was to be famous for anything, it would be definitely to support more teachers.
Gotcha. And like you said, you still be feeding knowledge just to, like you said, the teachers, not just the students. So it's all kind of revolved around the same thing.
Yeah, especially when in my field, what was it? The percentage of black male teachers leaving the field after like 3 years is like almost 70%. That's why you don't see too many black male teachers.
Gotcha. If you had an opportunity to have your own superhero created, what would his, her, or its name be and why?
Man, I don't have a name for a superhero. Man, but powers, that's tough because like powers are so integral to like a character's personality. Like I always thought about being bulletproof, right? And then like how important like Luke Cage being a black man being bulletproof, especially in this time of our in modern era that we're living in now, was a big message. And then you got Black Panther, who's a king. Where back then, there was a lot of black exploitations and pimps and all this other stuff going on. It was like negative imagery. That's a tough one. I cannot think of like a superhero name or a concept because like I feel like everyone has been done, but I feel like if you're familiar with Invincible, there's a black superhero Invincible that looks like the main character. He would be very similar to that, where like because I feel like Invincible, the character himself draws upon like many different tropes of superheroes, being young, a teen, and just all around just super powerful. But he's still dealing with like human stuff, so something like that would definitely work.
So Invincible, is he part of DC or Marvel?
Nah, Invincible is part of Image Comics. So if you've ever watched The Walking Dead, he's created by that guy.
Gotcha. Next question. Why is it that round pizzas come in square boxes?
Because you can turn the box into a table. You can turn a box into the table, and I saw this hack where you can turn the box into like individual plates. So
Bro, I didn't think you was gonna answer that question. Like that's a legitimate answer.
it's a legitimate
Like,
answer.
that's crazy. What do you do for fun?
I play video games when I have the energy to. I do photography when I have the energy to. I read comic books and books in general when I have the energy to, or sleep because I have no energy, and that works the best. Or movies with Felicia. Movies with Felicia is fun.
Okay. What do you? Oh, not what. Start over. Do you love your career? And if so, why? And if not, why?
I love my career. There was a quote that I saw on Instagram. I can't remember it, but it was like a lot of teachers love their career. They love being a teacher. It's just they don't love all the red tape sometimes that's around it. And there's a lot of I guess you can call it red tape, but when you think of red tape, you think of like, oh, that's taboo, bad things. But it's more like just obstacles that are in the way of teaching at the best of your ability. I was just very fortunate to be out of school where a lot of the support was given in the beginning, the middle, and the end, especially the middle, because as a school teacher, you're pouring all your money into your classroom. I want to say I put at least $2,500 in my classroom already, and
Keep going.
and luckily, like last year, we ended up getting like $1,000 grant. This year, beginning of the school year, I won like a couple, a couple of giveaways, like for a back to school one that was like worth like $150, and I have won some stuff from my classroom. What was it, like snacks for the rest of the school year for free? But a lot of that stuff come out of our own money and not through the schools. So it's tough. I love what I do. I love the students that I work with, even though sometimes they're really challenging. I love teaching and showing them new things and talking about stuff and having real conversations in the classroom in which kids feel safe to have those conversations and to introduce them to like new things beyond, the four walls in our classroom. So I definitely love what I do.
Gotcha. Well, I did want to ask, so as far as the funding though, because that was interesting what you said you had to put a lot of your own money into that, which I want to say is unfortunate because through taxes, through all of these, I'm paying taxes, you paying taxes, like it should be enough to fund and give to these schools. So they don't, I don't want to say they don't provide, but my question is it that they don't provide enough as far as the state to go to the county and such? How does that actually work?
It really depends on the school, your district. So it's a trickle down thing, right? So like the state of California is really big on education. So we don't have it as bad as, let's say, like Florida or Arkansas or even Texas. Like our school district, and then on top of that, now it trickles down from the governor to our school district. We're the second largest school district in the nation. So we have a lot of funding and we have a lot of schools, and all these schools are spread apart throughout the entire county of Los Angeles. So they're trying to like, it's like it's what Batman said. Batman said he's a firefighter. All he does is like goes and puts out the fire. Where like Superman, he's the architect. He's the man of the future, right? He's here building the future. We're not. We're firefighters right now instead of being architects, and we need to be building towards the future. And it's just like a lot of like small things, whether it be classroom sizes and extra extra help. Like I said, I'm very fortunate to be in a school that's keyed in on. We're called a top 100 school, but it's not a top 100 school in the sense like, oh, we're the top 100 schools in the county or in our district. It's more like our school is being focused by the district, and we get that extra support. And after these next couple of years, that money is going to trickle away little by little, and we're going to lose certain things. So I mean, but in terms of like classrooms, in terms of like stuff that's in our classroom, we get the basics. But if you're thinking about like, all the stuff you see on the walls in your classroom, all the extracurricular stuff that's supplemented or needed for your students, that come out of teachers' pockets.
All right, next question. How did you overcome one of your most difficult situations in life?
Going back to school. After not being in school and after just working, and before my daughter was born, she was kind of like the catalyst of it. I was like, I need to do more. At that time, I was fine with what I was doing. Like, I was working for an after school program. I was still working with kids. I really didn't need no more than my GED, and that was fine. But when my daughter was born, I needed to do more. So going back to school at 25, after my dad, like having parents, like my dad always pushed to go to college, but he didn't know how college worked. And it's funny, like, parents will tell you like, go to school, but they don't understand the steps that you have to take to go to school and what's required. So it was like walking in there by myself once again. And I remember even before Allison was born, that I would like try to go to school, and I would sign up and enroll, and I would never even show up. Like I was just, I would say, you know what, next semester. Like right now, it's too busy. Even though it really wasn't that busy, or maybe like I could have like pushed right through it. It was just too busy, and then just going to community college for like 3 years, and then going to CSUN for 2 years, and then during COVID, on top of that, that was very challenging. Many nights where I like living out here in Antelope Valley and working in West LA, which is an extra like 30, 45 minutes away from the valley in terms of traffic, because that 405 traffic is terrible. And then going from work to school, and then going home was a big thing. Sometimes I wouldn't even make it home. I would just sleep in my car, or when my cousin was living in the valley, I'll stay at his house. But like staying at people's houses was made me always feel uncomfortable. So yeah, school was the toughest part. It was definitely the toughest part, and I'm still in school, which is even tough. So it sucks.
What do you value most in life, and why?
I value my family the most. Why is it simply because like family is the most important thing. Is like it like I've always gone by this model, like it takes a village. I even use it in school as well. Like having my immediate family, which is like my brother, my mom, and my dad. But we were really tight with my extended family, my cousins, all my second cousins, third cousins, great aunts, great uncles. We're all really, really tight on my grandmother's, side of the family. So family has always been very important.
Gotcha. What is something you would tell your 18-year-old self?
The short answer is to keep pushing forward. Go back to school. Don't stop going to school. I feel like from 18 to probably 23, even though I was working and taking care of myself, I was lost. And I want to say I low key let a lot of people down because of that. And just keep pushing forward.
All right, next question. What is your favorite song or artist of all time? And the reason why I do so, because some people can't pick songs, but who or what is your favorite song or artist of all time?
That's tough because back when I was younger, I would have those type of things. Like, oh, I have my favorite artist, I have my favorite song. But now I'm such a referential listener. Like it's really based on just how I'm feeling, what mood I'm in, what mood that I need to be in. Like you would say, like probably like the easiest answer in terms of just like music wise would be Drake, right? Just simply because like he's a chameleon. He can do whatever. It doesn't necessarily mean it's good, but he can do whatever. But if I'm in them, that's because like I said, he can do whatever. But just like songs in general, I don't know.
You got one?
That's
Okay.
tough.
If you can just
Honestly,
give one.
if it was one, what is it? I want to call it, I think it's The Art of Peer Pressure by Kendrick Lamar. Because Kendrick, during that beginning of the song, he was talking about a location that I used to live at in Hawthorne, because Hawthorne's not too far from Compton. And he was talking about driving down Rosecrans, and he was talking about driving into this, I forgot what it's called, but it's a cul-de-sac. It's like a bunch of cul-de-sacs. We called it the maze. And in the song, he's talking about robbing these people, obviously, and like how his homeboys have pressured him into getting into this nonsense. And it kind of reminded me of like how my homeboys had pressured me to get into some nonsense before, but not necessarily there, but like in other places near Hawthorne. And that song, that beginning part of it, definitely like, especially like the music, the melody, it just brought back those old like 16, 17-year-old feelings. So that's probably one of my favorite songs.
Gotcha. Okay. What was it called? The Art of War, you said?
The Art of Peer
Art of
Pressure.
Peer Pressure. Gotcha. That was on Good Kid, Mad City, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. So these questions are either or questions.
Okay.
So I'll say this and that. You kind of choose. It could be whatever you want. It's either or questions. I'll just put it that way.
Okay.
All right. Fame or money?
Money.
Hip hop or R&B?
R&B.
New car or all expenses paid vacation?
New car, because I feel like I don't have time for that.
I really want to know this answer. Green Ranger or White Ranger?
Dang. Green Ranger, mainly because like he fit with the whole squad in terms of his looks, whereas like the White Ranger, he came from a whole like his costume is from a completely different Power Ranger team, but in Japan it's Super Sentai, and they were called Die Rangers, and they all look like the White Ranger kind of. They need really cool costumes and everything, but they needed another Ranger, and in America they were being real cheap, so they were going to make a new color, so they took the costume from that series and brought it over. Also, they took all the Zords from over there too, but the Green Ranger, the Dragon Zord, the Dragon Dagger, Morpher, all that's fire.
Gary don't play no games. Y'all see that? All right. I think this one was crazy that I'm asking you this, but I'm gonna ask you anyway. Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
This is crazy, but I don't know.
I love DC too, but Marvel. DC has more of a foothold in my childhood than Marvel did, because you have like Batman animated series. Watch that every Saturday morning with my mom. But also Spider-Man. Watch that every Saturday morning with my mom. X-Men the animated series. Let me see. We watched Superman, the Adventures of Superman together. And some other stuff.
That's a loud sizzle. All right, but like you said, Marvel.
Marvel for sure.
Gotcha.
Marvel for sure. Love the comic books. Love the movies is really what holds me to it. Like those last 10 years, 11, 12 years of movies, definitely.
Okay. Goku or Vegeta?
Dang. It's been Vegeta for a long time, but recently it's been Goku. It's been Goku.
I have
I
a
don't
lot
know
of questions
why.
about that, but I'm gonna leave it to my.
It's weird, but it's just like I love Vegeta. Vegeta is like one of my favorite like antagonist turn protagonist. Like he has better character development than Goku. But there's just like something about Goku and just like his spirit that's like very childlike and innocent in a way that's just like you like that. But as a man, as a person, you relate to Vegeta more because you like responsibilities, manhood, fatherly stuff, being the best at what you can do, and pushing yourself forward. So it's a big tie between the two. But yeah,
Okay. East Coast or West Coast?
West Coast
Science or religion?
science,
Gaming or cartoons?
gaming.
90s or 2000s?
In what? Just living?
Whatever you want it to be.
Just living in general? 90s.
What's your favorite color?
Orange.
And this is the last either or. Loyalty or respect, and why?
Ooh.
Loyalty or respect, and why?
Respect, because when people respect you, like eventually you'll garner their loyalty. Whereas like loyalty can be based off of anything from fear, from hatred, from jealousy. You can be loyal to a person and still jealous of them, right? But if you respect them, like eventually the loyalty comes along with it.
All right, next question. Who is the one person you can call to cheer you up when you're feeling down?
No. Let me see. I'm trying to think because not too many people I call specifically for things like that. To be honest, like it's gonna sound silly, but it's the internet.
Hey man, whatever it is, yeah.
when I'm feeling sad or down, like I'm sure something on the internet is gonna have me cracking, laughing. Memes, TikTok.
Gotcha.
It's the internet. But if I'm gonna say like somebody I was call and I just want to like laugh, it'd be my cousins, like Marquise and Marcus. If we get on the three-way with each other, one of them's gonna start reminiscing about something from the past, and we're gonna be like, "Man, you that's not what happened." And we're just laughing, and Felicia could attest to it. She tells me that when I'm on the phones with them, like my voice level is much higher for no reason because we're just laughing the entire time. So definitely those three.
All right, next question. We got four more to go. I have $2 million, and I say, here you go, Gary. That's yours, bro. What's the first thing you gonna do with it?
Man, it's funny because I thought about stuff like that too. With money like that, I don't really value money. I'm always like giving to other people. So I'm helping whoever's in my family that needs something done, whether it's like your car, your a bill that needs to be paid, or you need money for your kids or whatever. I'm supporting and helping with that. Definitely giving towards like some sort of like charitable organization for education. If I could, I would definitely stipend off like a couple. Like I give every teacher in my school like $1,200 for their classroom, just like they did us last year. That would help out as well too. So I'll be giving that money away and probably only keep like 1 million for myself.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay. Do you feel like you're making an impact to this world?
Yes, I feel like I have. I feel like I am. You don't realize it, especially when you're a teacher, until like a student that you haven't like seen in a long time reaches out to you, and you may not even remember who they are, but they remember you and for what you did. I want to say like probably last year or a year ago. Yeah, it's like last year. A student. I wasn't even a teacher yet. I was working for an after school program. He reached out to me on Facebook. He's like an adult now. He's like 20 something, and he reached out to me on Facebook just saying thank you because I was coming home from work really late at night. And I was working in LA, so I'm taking the bus, and I'm taking the bus to the Orange Line. I get off the Orange Line and I'm walking down the street to like I want to say it was Tampa and not Victory. Yeah, Tampa and Victory. And I see this kid and he looks familiar. And I didn't think nothing of it because I went to Carl's Jr. and I walk out. And then the kid follows me. He was like, Mr. Foster. Well, he called me Coach Gary. And then I was like, do I know you? He was like, you don't remember me? I'm so-and-so's brother. And I was like, oh, yeah, because I had his little brother. And I was like, what's up with you? What you doing out here so late? He was like, Mr. Foster, I'm like, I'm stuck. I don't have any money to get home. And just in that moment, I had like $25 in my pocket. I don't keep money on me like that. But I gave him the 25. And he was telling me that, that saved his life, basically. Like he was in a situation where some dudes was like chasing after him or something like that. And he was able to get home safely that night because of it. And I was just thinking like I'm just helping a kid that I kind of know, but I don't know too well, but I kind of know, and he just needed my help, but that changed his life. So, yeah.
It's a huge impact. Wow, okay. If you had one wish, what would it be?
Ah, man, a one singular wish. That's tough. Man, I lost my cousin this year, and the he was like another brother. He was the youngest of us. I would definitely wish to go back and tell him to save him, basically, from himself. Because he was one of those kids who's just like those free spirits, try anything, do anything type of people. And that's what took his life. Trying anything, doing anything took his life. So going back in time to help him, save him.
Got you. Sorry to hear that, bro. Peace and blessings to you, though, man. Last question. Why are you doing this interview? I gotta know why, man. Be as honest as you
I mean,
want.
like, you reached out, and I was curious of how this was going to be, and I thought it'd be fun and entertaining for sure. And just, sometimes people have like interesting questions, and I like answering interesting questions, and these are really good questions.
Got you. Okay. Well, that was my last question, and after every interview, pretty much I like to tell you why I asked you. And the reason why I asked you, for one, bro, you probably the biggest comic book fan I know, like, honestly. You taught me things, you tell me things, I'll act like I know what you're talking about. I really don't, but you're teaching me things. Even with Dragon Ball Z being a big deal to me, that is like my #1 anime, all of that, of all time, so let's talking about that. And then also, on a serious tip, you just being like a family man, seeing that, like, that's inspirational. Like, you fall in the lines of what I look at, you know what I'm saying? I look at all men taking care of their business, their kids, their girl, their wifey, whatever you want to call it, like that. I love seeing that. So that is something important to me. You made an impact in my life because I get to see that. I get to see another black man actually taking care of business. So with that being said, I do have a gift for you. This is for you, bro.
Nah.
For doing this, you gotta open it up.
Right here?
Yes. Yes, you do. And it's pretty interesting because it falls in line with that last, not the last question, but the question before. And I'll explain once you open it up.
Oh, it's heavy. Are these
So I think you probably already know what it is, but
the Dragon Balls?
so what's interesting is
Wait a second.
your answer making a wish. If those are real, obviously you can make that wish happen.
Hey, yo, it's the Dragon Balls. This is nuts.
Because I know you're a fan of Dragon Ball Z. I'm a
This is
fan,
nuts.
and I wanted to get you something that I think
It's
you would like.
the 5-star Dragon Ball.
Yeah. So
Oh, snaps.
appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I was just thinking, like, which one Gohan had? Did he have the 1-star? He had the.
I had to call
I think he had the
Felicia
1-star.
because I don't know all the things you got. I'm thinking you probably already got it. She said, nah, you got that. So thanks to her too, but I appreciate this, man.
Oh man, I appreciate this. This is hilarious.